Logical consequences done wrong can make your child feel worse about themselves, plotting their next rebellion, or becoming masters of not getting caught. Instead of learning about right and wrong, they might become people pleasers, little rebels, or even start doubting their worth. But what if we rethink the whole idea of natural and logical consequences? This can totally shift the vibe at home or in the classroom, making discipline about guiding and growing, not just correcting. Hey, loving parents and curious minds! Today, we're diving into a world that might just change how you see those moments when kids act out. Ever heard of logical consequences? This can feel a lot like sneaky punishments. And guess what? Our kids are smart. They see right through it. Let's take Marcus, a 5-year-old, who is playing baseball in the backyard and accidentally breaks a window. His initial reaction is fear of getting in trouble, and he considers hiding the incident from his parents. When Marcus's parents find out about the broken window, they immediately decide to cancel his upcoming birthday party as a consequence for breaking the window, telling him, "This is what happens when you're not careful." So why is this logical consequence and the parents' reaction the wrong way to do it? Well, let's come back to this a little later. Please hit that like button and subscribe to this channel. Now let's dive deeper into understanding natural consequences and logical consequences, and revisit Marcus and his parents. Have you ever heard about logical consequences for dealing with kids' misbehaviour? For a long time, I thought they were the ultimate trick up my sleeve. But let me tell you, something just didn't sit right. I've chatted with lots of parents and teachers who felt the same. They'd tell me their stories, and it struck me. These logical consequences often sounded more like sneaky punishments. Yep, even the smart folks like Rudolf Dreikurs caught on to this. He said calling punishments logical consequences is basically adults being sneaky, and guess what? Kids can totally see through that. So, what happens when kids get hit with these so-called logical consequences? More often than not, they end up feeling pretty bad about themselves. They might start plotting their next big rebellion or figuring out how to never get caught again. Instead of learning about what's right and wrong, they might just try to win approval, turn into little rebels, or even start thinking they're not good enough. And if we keep upping the punishment game, we're just teaching them to be sneakier, setting off a revenge cycle that could blow up big time during the teen years. Now you might think, but hey, punishment stops the bad behavior right then and there. Sure, it might seem like you've won the battle for a moment. But is it really a win if it leaves kids feeling resentful, worthless, or ready to rebel? We've got to think bigger picture here, aiming to help kids grow into awesome, responsible humans with more positive vibes. Remember Marcus, the broken window, and his parents cancelling his birthday party in hopes that it would teach him that there is a logical consequence for breaking the window. Well, all it taught Marcus was to feel resentful and scared of making mistakes, learning more about hiding errors than taking responsibility for his actions. Why? Well, the parents' logical consequence was 1. Not directly related. Cancelling a birthday party has nothing to do with the action of breaking a window. The consequence should be related to the incident to make sense to the child. 2. Too severe. The punishment is disproportionate to the mistake of accidentally breaking a window. Consequences should be reasonable and aim to teach, not to cause undue distress. 3. Misses the teaching moment. This approach focuses on making Marcus feel bad for what happened, rather than helping him learn from the mistake. A better response would involve Marcus in the process of fixing the problem, like helping to clean up and understanding the cost of repair. This approach misses the opportunity to teach Marcus about consequences in a way that promotes understanding, responsibility, and learning from mistakes. So what's the game plan now? Well, I've started to rethink the whole natural and logical consequences thing. Instead, I'm all about finding solutions together and really getting kids involved in figuring things out. It can totally change the vibe at home or in class. Let's break it down. Natural consequences. Let things roll without stepping in. Forgot your lunch? You might be hungry, but we'll handle it with empathy, not lectures. Logical consequences. These need a bit of adult magic, but should be fair, make sense, and be something we've talked about before. If not, they just feel like punishment. Picking the right approach is key. Logical consequences need us to be thoughtful and chill. They're not always the answer, especially if they just feel like a sneaky way to punish. Getting kids in on the decisions and focusing on respect can lead to way better outcomes. Think of discipline not as winning or losing, but as guiding kids toward making better choices. It's about swapping anger for empathy, punishments for solutions, and strict rules for teaching moments. Shifting how we think about logical consequences can make discipline more about growing together in a caring, understanding way. It's all about looking forward to helping kids become their best selves, respecting their feelings, and making them part of the journey. Let's have a deeper dive into natural consequences, learning the hard way, but the right way. Sometimes, learning things the hard way is actually the right way. It's like when you forget to bring your coat and end up feeling chilly, or you skip lunch and later feel super hungry. These things happen because of choices you made, and nobody steps in to fix it for you. It's all about learning from what happens naturally, without any grown-ups giving you a big lecture or saying, "I told you so," which, let's be honest, can make anyone feel kinda bad. It's about being kind, not lectury. Imagine you're having a rough day because you missed lunch. Instead of someone saying, "See, you should have remembered your lunch," what if they said, "Oh man, that must have been tough missing your lunch today." That feels a lot better, right? It shows they believe you can handle things yourself, and it's all about growing and getting better at dealing with stuff. Let's talk about Billy, a super smart but kind of forgetful kid in first grade. He kept leaving his lunch at home, and his mom would rush it over to school. But then they decided it was time for Billy to learn from what happens naturally, which meant feeling hungry if he forgot his lunch. After a nice chat about trying this new way, Billy had to deal with the outcome of forgetting. It was tough at first, but guess what? He got so much better at remembering his lunch and even started making it himself. This wasn't just about lunch. Billy was learning to be organized and responsible. Big life skills right there, when it's not cool to use natural consequences. But hey, there are times when natural consequences just don't cut it. Like, you wouldn't want someone to learn about not running into the street by actually running into it, right? That's dangerous. And if a kid doesn't care about being messy, not cleaning up won't bother them much. In these situations, it's all about talking things out, making plans together, and sometimes using logical consequences, but always with kindness and trying to understand each other. Let's visit Julie and the case of the missing laundry. Here's a story about Julie, who never bothered with her laundry and expected her mom to always have her favorite clothes ready. Learning from natural consequences meant her mom would only wash clothes that made it to the hamper. So when Julie wanted to wear her favorite trousers and they were still dirty, she learned her lesson the hard way. Even though she wasn't happy at first, her mum was there with a hug and a, "I get it's tough, but I know you can remember next time." Julie learned an important lesson about taking care of her stuff. What we learn from this? Natural consequences are like life's own way of teaching us important stuff. They help kids, and hey, adults too, see that what we do or don't do has real effects. It's all about facing those outcomes with a bit of help and lots of understanding, growing up to be someone who can handle what life throws at them. Whether it's making sure to pack your lunch or keeping your room tidy, every lesson is a step towards being more awesome at life. By the way, if you're looking for a nursery that knows how to change lives, check out our website at purplebeesday.nursery.com. Natural consequence example in early years. Imagine a little one, let's call her Ava, a 3-year-old, who refuses to wear her jacket on a chilly day. Ava steps outside without her jacket and feels cold. This cold feeling is the natural consequence of her choice not to wear her jacket. Instead of lecturing, you might say, "It feels cold outside, doesn't it? Would you like to wear your jacket now to feel warmer?" This approach lets Ava experience the result of her decision and gives her the opportunity to make a different choice based on that experience, all while ensuring she's safe and cared for. Logical consequence example. Now imagine Ava is playing with her crayons and starts drawing on the wall instead of paper. The logical consequence for drawing on the wall is that Ava needs to help clean it up. This consequence is directly related to her action, drawing on the wall. It's respectful. It teaches her responsibility without shaming. It's reasonable. It's within her ability to help wipe the wall. And it's revealed in advance, if possible, explaining beforehand that if we make a mess, we clean it up. You might gently explain, "We draw on paper, not on walls. Let's clean this together, and next time we'll use paper." This helps Ava understand the specific expectation, drawing on paper, and the reason behind the consequence, keeping the walls clean, promoting learning and responsibility in a supportive way. So, natural consequences happen on their own as a result of the child's action. They are powerful learning experiences because they allow children to directly see the impact of their choices. And logical consequences are imposed by an adult but are directly related to the misbehaviour. They are most effective when they are immediate, related to the behaviour, respectful and reasonable for the child's age. Both types of consequences are valuable tools for early childhood development, helping children learn from their actions in a safe and supportive environment. For more information on parenting, check out our channel and also visit us at purplebeeschildcare.com. Thanks for tuning in, and don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more parenting wins. And make sure you enjoy every moment with your children.